Hello YouTube. Had a great stream last night. We're gonna jump right back into it. I have a couple of changes that I made. We're just gonna do a quick audio check on my end. Make sure everything looks okay, make sure the stream is holding up. And then I'll plug my phone into charge and then we'll get working on some things. Okay. All right, testing audio. Testing. Oh, it's good to me. I can see the code on my screen. It's pretty bloody zoomed in on my end, so I'll have to suffice. Basically gonna speak as people, as someone's actually here listening. Because eventually someone will stumble in. The bar's set pretty high from yesterday's experience or last night's experience, that's okay. We'll switch this camera around. It is 1:50 AM EST time zone. And yeah, I'll just talk about some of the changes I made. One of the things I worked on today, hammered out really quickly, was just some stream overlays for Kynto. Specifically, wanted to provide some prompts to anyone that watches the streams, give some information about Kynto, and so got that spun up really quickly. It's super simple. You can drag it around, stuff like that. As usual, the avatars are driven by the YouTube live chat. We'll just take it from there momentarily. The mouse has been giving me bother on this MacBook today. Don't know what the hell is up with that. APH Designs, good to see you. How are you doing tonight? Looks like I've a bloody mouse problem still. Let's see. And I didn't hear it read out your chat either, so that's problematic. Let's see what's going on with that. Yep. That's the way to do it. Did a couple of changes, like some stream prompts I'm showing on the screen. I think I want to work on some overlays to show some info. And another thing I did is just have it read out the username of who's chatting in the live chat. But I think I'm going to work on the delay the TTS chat readout. So I think that's what I'm going to get started on. I have to grab another bloody mouse. What's going on with this? Yeah, it's good it's bloody Friday. That's what I'm excited about. It's always a good thing. Okay, let's see what's going on with this computer. Yeah, this is weird. Yep, exactly. There's also commands you can use to actually move your avatar around tile by tile, and you can update your clothing and some stuff like that. But the whole idea is to have the avatars literally represent who's in the chat, or at least who's interacting with it. I have to restart this bloody Mac, though. It's annoying. That's a good question. Yeah, no, 100%. It's a fun feature to work on, even more fun to get to see it like in use. I think it literally just came out of me trying to find a way to integrate what I was already working on with YouTube. I think that was honestly it. And I seen the YouTube live chat and I was like, well, maybe I can use that as like an input source for the game. And I can. That's the awesome part about it. And I think what made it easier as well is I created a plugin system for Kynto, so it makes it really easy to create one-off features like that, or like integrations. You can actually step through some of the code. It's not even that crazy. Another thing that I think made it easier to implement than it would be in like a lot of platforms is Kynto. Yeah, 100%. Like kind of like I have these tools available. I have these like functions and features. How do I connect it to make it, you know, do what I want here, which is to make the live chat more interactive. All right, I'm just going to give up and restart the Mac. So the code screen's going to black out for a second. That's first what I have to do here. Another thing that we're going to get into though, as time goes on, is just kind of explaining the whole event bus concept, and how that made this like easy, like more approachable to implement. So the way Kynto works as a platform, everything is basically set up as individual plugins, and those plugins can tie into an event bus, and you can appreciate that, man. That's music to my ears, honestly, because I feel the same bloody way. Like, I can't tell you how many hours I've just sat here trying to explain it in words that are people would like engage with. The hell is this thing doing? Hope this Mac's not fried, man. Things I enjoyed too. I feel like I see less of it now, which is crazy because like things are easier to do than they ever were. It's just kind of experiment with like new ways to push things forward without kind of reinventing the wheel. Like, don't have to set out to try and recreate YouTube or something like that. But they make APIs where you can just tie into it. So why not? Why not play with that a wee bit? All right, we've got mouse back. That's good. So funny enough, I just went through the YouTube audio library and like was specifically looking for things that kind of sounded chiptuney or synthy. So I just went through and just listened to a bunch of different songs. So I found some stuff I liked. And there's a guy called, I think it's Jeremy Black, and he has some like really good stuff. Cool, almost up. %. I found a genre that I like quite a bit. It's is it Dark Disco? Really good for coding, but not found too many examples of that in the YouTube sound library. Okay. Get Docker started. Interesting. So, okay, you gotta talk a wee bit more about that. So, you talking about like the physical body of a camera? Like, what you thinking? Next up. Start up React. Oh, that's sweet. No, I haven't. You talking about like the cameras that like screw into like a light bulb fixture, so, like for outdoor cameras? Or are you talking about like a design that literally looks like a light bulb? Starting up the server now. Right on. You know, one of the things I used Kynto for when I was on vacation was using it as like a kind of a peer-to-peer security camera system. I just kind of threw up. Okay, right on. I used the peer-to-peer camera streaming. I don't know if, when I showed you the 3D printer, I'm not sure if that came through yesterday, but that was just me doing a camera share from my phone. Well, it turns out I could also use that as like a security camera thing. Like I can have my laptop up or a phone in the office here, and I can share my camera into a room, and I can lock the room so you need a password to get in. And like it's peer-to-peer, so if you're not in that room, you can't physically form a connection with that camera source. So kind of interesting thing you could be exploring there is like a custom peer-to-peer camera. Because one of the things I hate about these cameras like you buy on Amazon, like I've got Real Link cameras, they all shoot your stuff off to the cloud. Like you can't even, for the most part, like manage it yourself on your own LAN. Like they all require bloody internet to function. And I like the idea of hiding cameras behind a VPN or literally using WebRTC to do it. Definitely worth exploring a bit more. Yep, exactly. And that's concerning for me. I don't like that. I do like the idea of having a camera you could just screw into a light socket. That's brilliant. Okay. We should be up here. Hopefully we don't lose I/O again. I'm not sure what was happening with that. Sorted. Good. Let's do a quick change here. I'm going to have it cut out the read in the YT underscore. I do that for avatars in Kynto to show you the like the difference between someone that just has like a guest account who just I wouldn't be too worried about that. In this age, if you don't have cameras up, it's kind of crazy, right? That's smart. Did you see the news about using Wi-Fi signals because people's houses and rooms are emitting so many Wi-Fi sources that you can literally see through concrete walls and see what, you know, physical human beings moving around in their homes. Found that kind of crazy. So let's hop into the code for YouTube here. Everything should be secure. Yeah, it's definitely not good. And I can tell you, like, I have sawn-off devices, you know, to like turn lights on and off and stuff like that. If you think about it, every single IoT device is emitting and receiving Wi-Fi signals. So the more Wi-Fi you're emitting, like the better the clarity or the resolution. No, but I'll check them out. Definitely take recommendations for other folks to check out, that's for sure. Just real quick, if you could see my screen here, these are the... Alright, I'll pull them up now actually so I can subscribe on my end so I get these videos. Got them. Cool. So is that another one? I couldn't find it, AI Joe. That's it. You know, just a quick side note on the whole YouTube thing. I definitely see a place for, like, I'm sure other folks have done it, I've just not dig too deep into it, doing like a custom YouTube homepage that pulls in like the actual content creators you're subscribed to, like that you want to see. Because I don't know about you, but like my YouTube suggestions and homepage is all the same crap, and it's like mostly like court TV. I do like watch that crap. It just recycles the same crap to me. Like I have to like proactively seek out the channels I want to watch, which is frustrating. It doesn't have to be that way. Cyber news looks good. They have a Cyber News UK. Good. So leave that there and we'll filter that at the front end. So let's do this. I like that. Another thing to go along with that would be pulling the transcript based on the closed captions. 100%. And especially with how finicky YouTube is, like it's almost required. Like there's no, for what I know, there's no like what's it, Wayback Machine, you know, for videos, right? Yeah. Oh, that was brutal. How much of the data were they able to recover? I know they were down for weeks. I could pull up some of the original Kynto stuff from Wayback Machine. I got stuff going back like bloody 2007, I think. If it's still there. Tidy up a wee bit. We're just going to extract the YT underscore on the readouts and still keep it in the chat logs in Kynto. That way you know where the chat came from, at least right away. That should do it. I could try this in local. Oops. Let's change that song. What the hell? Did they put a pwned page up? Like, did they take over the homepage as well? Or just wipe them out? News on my end. Black Meta. That's what I'm seeing here as well. And it also looks like that user database with 31 million records, unique email addresses at least, is exposed. Crazy. Interesting. Yeah. It looks like they also injected some JavaScript code to overwrite the front end. Yeah. Looks like a cross-site script attack, in my opinion. There's 2 separate attacks listed here. Oh, bloody hell. What do you think about Spain blocking Cloudflare, especially when they're hosting football games on the telly, or in the hosting football over there? They literally apparently block Cloudflare, which blocks, like, was it 30–40% internet? Interesting. Quickly test this. Oh. Shit. Let's see. Just make sure. All right, that's good. So we're going to actually quickly release this. Doesn't it? You know, after like 20 years of never ever having a Mac, I had to get one for work. They sent me one, and it turned out it just worked really nicely. And I liked the terminal environment. I liked that I didn't have to, you know, I typically used. Yes, sir. Yeah. A little bit disappointing, I feel, but I'm telling you, it's been a boom for development. I'll give you one of the reasons as to why I stuck with Windows for so long and why I got off it. So I was quite excited when Windows pushed WSL, Windows Subsystem, that lets you run Linux and Windows side by side, essentially. Sounds great and all until you actually like need to forward ports from, say, like you're running Docker and Linux under Windows. Like I wasn't able to load ports on the other LAN machines, so like we had testing locally, an absolute pain, and could do it temporarily, but the IP basically rotates every time you restart the machine, so you have to like write a little script to like forward all these ports, and eventually, like after the Windows update, it stopped working. And I'm like, what the hell? I remember when I was younger, I was into the Linux as a desktop, and it didn't support Wi-Fi cards at the time, at least the one in my computer. And I even have a CD from about around 2006 that has drivers on it. You know, I was pulling from the Ubuntu forums to try and get this bloody thing working. Well, I ended up with just a dongle hanging out my computer to use it. Another thing though is I have a Steam on my Windows machine, so alright, I'm gonna save that because I'm looking to move some stuff around actually. Let's save that. Let's switch this over. Yeah. And for the most part, it's worked good. Mac, but as you've seen, I've ran into input issues in the last day or two, and I'm very confused about it. Like not even the bloody trackpad on the computer will respond. I'm like, what's it doing? Okay, so I'm going to commit a small change here. It's going to stop reading out YT underscore. We're using Jenkins to do my build process here. It's basically going to take my update that I'm going to commit into Git, and then it's going to create a build off of that, and then it's going to release it. And it's a pretty simple process, and pull it all up. What? Yes, link's broken. Bloody hell. It's not one thing, it's another. Let's make sure nothing unintentional. Hey Penguin, nice to see you here. So if you look at the bottom of your screen, that's Kynto. It's a long and short. It's a web game that ties pretty tightly with YouTube, and just doing some updates on it tonight. Every avatar you see represents someone that's interacting with the chat, so you just got one there. And I'm actually in the process of pushing out a wee update. Pull up Jenkins. Go down to the UI. UI has its own build pipeline. Since I committed it to Git, I should just fire through. Yep. And this game is actually ties into WebRTC2, so I use it to drive my cameras here. And it makes it easy for me to like share screen and like have other people in share screen and stuff like that. Like kind of like think of it as like this little virtual room here, this isometric room is like a little YouTube studio, at least for the purposes of the stream. All right, so it's building. You can see the build pipeline here. It's building the project, so it's just running npm install. It's grabbing the Git. It's going to archive everything into a tar. Create the necessary directories. It's going to copy over the environment file templates or files for the specific build, and then it's going to upload it through SFTP to the deployment, the actual server that like that hosts the front end of this. And then once it's done, I'll go ahead and reload. All right, looks like we're done. Just quickly reload, make sure it's, oh, what's it doing? All right, cool, went out successfully. All right, grab this upper keyboard. So as you can see, it's just a web game here. I tie with a lot of interesting APIs. All right, cool. Just one more reload just in case of cache. All right. If you want to give it a test, guys, just with the live chat, just to make sure it's not reading out YT underscore anymore, I'd appreciate that. If you can, just drop a wee like on the videos. YouTube is very interesting when it decides to actually like serve the stream up to people. Had a great night last night. It was brilliant. And, PH Designs was a big part of that. It was very, very fun. What the hell? I add it to the wrong body function. What is going on? Do a hard reload. Come on. What's the key in Windows? What the hell? This isn't the only room in Kynto, by the way. There is a bunch more, but this is the one that's hooked up to the live chat tonight. The whole idea is like other people on will be able to, I mean, you can right now actually come in and like hook this up to another YouTube channel, and like each room can be connected to a YouTube channel. Like say you're hosting a stream or you're, I don't know, what's another one. You can have it Kynto pulling the live chat into your room and like spawn avatars for the live chat. So it's like what I'm building isn't just for me. Hopefully other people will get some use out of it as well. One thing I really wanted to finish and I started on was having unique voices for everyone that chats and actually persist them. And I'll probably give you guys some, I think it's important to give some control over that, like so you can control like the pitch, the speed, something like that. That way, like when you're chatting with me or chatting with each other, by ear we can tell who's talking. I don't have to read it out, you know, Tom says X. I do. So I have the ActionScript free version of Kynto. So I've used this project like over the course of many years and recorded it many times in different ways. This is the most built out version, but the GitHub Scotland is me. And we can actually pull up and look at some projects. So one of the most interesting ones was Axid. Axid was a crawler, like a web crawler that was specifically built for Tumblr. And it would go through Tumblr pages looking for MP3 files. Back then, people were uploading MP3 files to their Tumblr for all sorts of songs, and Tumblr would host them. So all Axid did was cache the URL of that MP3 file and then make that available via another API that we could hook up to a desktop app or a website. At tunebin.com, we had like multiple different ones. And there's actually some videos on my channel. So the very first videos on my channel show you exactly what I'm talking about. And you could listen to music and watch music that way. So let me actually go pull that up. It's a good question. Oh yeah. So 13 years ago, the Axid project was committed there. Gray was a good friend, still is today, up in the Seattle area. And we were both working on this. He was like a couple of years younger than me when we started. This is what we did. So I think this is the front end he pushed up there. Let's go ahead and look at Kynto first, ActionScript. I pushed this up 5 years ago, but the actual project is ancient. I think it's from like 2009. It was one of the cleanest versions, so I just go pop it up there. I mentioned a wee bit PH Designs. I mentioned the whole event bus concept. I kind of got that from working in ActionScript 3. ActionScript 3 was actually a really well designed language. Implementation of EMCA script, like the foundation of JavaScript. They kind of got that right before JavaScript did. So like if I hop into Gameflow here, just the organization of their libraries was super clean. Let's zoom in a lot. So the whole event bus concept, this is an example of it. So I have a global event bus and I define a bunch of events that the server and client can fire, respond to each other. And what was cool about this is it made it really easy to add new features. So I could like create a little quote unquote plugin that listens to %, right? I feel that too. I feel that too. So let's give you an example here. So say like the server sends an alert, and I wanted to code a new alert component. Instead of having to like figure out how the WebSockets work, I already know how it works, I laid it out, but instead of having to like interact with WebSocket, the socket directly, I could just subscribe to this event manager, listen to that alert event, and then draw the UI that way. And I used this to, let me pull up some videos actually, it's make it easier to explain, but I just can't emphasize how useful this whole concept was, and how it's made it really easy for me to, in the modern version of Kynto today, to like tie into OpenAI, YouTube and stuff like that, and like just tie everything together, even though like the code and logic lives in like all sorts of different places. And I'll give you an example. So there is a Steam app that I'm working on for Kynto, desktop app that uses Electron, and desktop obviously gives you more capabilities than web, so I'm able to do some more things with it. One example is it has nodejs, which is a keyboard and mouse input API, which lets you do virtual mouse movements or keyboard input. So I was able to use WebRTC to like implement my own RDP protocol, and didn't have to like recode Kynto. I just load Kynto into a web view, and then I take I just tap into the host message on the actual web view itself, and then listen for events fired into my event manager in Electron, and then I can have that do privileged things that you can only do in a desktop version of an application as opposed to web. So really cool, and could break that out another night to like give you a demo of that. So like imagine scrolling through live streams, but like they're actually like interactive. So like if I'm sharing my Steam Deck, I could share it into Kynto, and maybe I'm playing a game. Well, you could see the video in the Kynto room, and you could literally like control my Steam Deck, but just by like tapping or moving your finger across your screen, because it's literally, that video is actually like a remote desktop session. I'm just using a video to just like render it, and then where your touch events, your typing is all transmitted to Electron, to nodejs, and then that actually replicates like you're controlling the Steam Deck. So like play games that way. Actually pull it up. Let's see where I tap into the event so I can give you a wee explanation. I think I put it in here. %. So here, the desktop layer, Electron just lets you use JavaScript to build desktop apps. I coded just a little emit function which ties into the like a little web view, and I can just fire events directly into Kynto. But like this is like for the system tray. So you know how like on Mac, Linux, or Windows, if you right click, like I don't know, like Wi-Fi or some crap up here, you get like little tray icons. You can only do that in a desktop app to like put an entry up here, but so this creates like a message entry. So if you like right click the Kynto logo or whatever, it shows messages as an option, and then I just literally inject the events I want into Kynto, and it does that. Let me scroll down to the interesting stuff though. I suppose I could actually boot it up, like why not? CD. Yeah, I didn't bother too much with this. It's very experimental. Okay, so it's Electron dot, forgot. So I'm gonna start this up now actually, so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is the desktop version of Kynto. Looks like I'm running. I should be able to demo this actually. All right. So now I've got this up and I'm running Kynto in this desktop app that only I have. Let me go on my Windows computer here. Well, first let me share screen. Okay, so I have to give permissions real quick. Give permissions. It looks like it already has it. So what's it complaining about? All right. Desktop. So if you see this right here, already one of the key differences when I click desktop, all the apps I have running on my computer, I'm pulling in icons for each of those apps. So that's the example of like a privileged thing that I was able to add into Kynto desktop. If I need to do this anyway, we'll go to the web version. So that's the version you're seeing in the bottom of the screen. This is the web version. If I click desktop to share desktop, you're not going to see that because we're just in Chrome. All right. So let me share screen, I guess. Let's pick one. This one. Okay. So I'm sharing screen here now. Now I'm going to go on my web version. I might have to switch user accounts actually to demo this. So I think I might have it enabled for mine. About to find out. Yep, I'm gonna have to switch accounts. Give me a second. Click exit. I'm gonna log out. No. Yeah, on the spot here now. Did it to myself. I'll log out. So while I'm logged out, it's not going to read out your chats because I'm literally relying on Kynto to do that. All right, now it will read out your chats, and I should be able to control. I should be able to control my Mac from my Windows doing this. Let's see. So I loaded in, and it's already sharing screen still. This is all WebRTC, it's all peer-to-peer. So there's a certain security aspect for that. Okay, now so I'm seeing a keyboard icon here. Let's see if it works. I'm gonna click it. All right, it's controlling it on the screen, but let me switch screens so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'll just share the right screen over here. There's a reason this hasn't been released yet. So we're gonna switch what screen I'm sharing. Okay. So you see that. So I've got my keyboard here. This is for the Windows. It's control. Like if I tap on this app in the background, I'm app switching just from Windows. Like, let's see if I can pull this closer. See, let me expand it actually. So you see there's like two mouse. That literally, well, do you see it? That's a good question. I have to pull this up. Let me pull this up. All right, so this is like the main screen on my Mac here. Go back over, I have this video full screen in Kynto. You should just make sure this is Jesus. Yeah, so literally RDP over if the mouse is offset wrong, but it works. And I actually have a demo where I'm playing Portal like this. Yeah, I'll go ahead and close that. Supports scroll events, so I'm scrolling this screen and it's copying it to my Mac. It's funny. Beauty of WebRTC, right? The one thing I've not got smooth yet was WASD for games, because I have to decide when to like keep emitting the key or not. I have to debug it. I'm going to go ahead and close this. Too many computers going on, bloody hell. Hey, is it Sizo or Sizzle? How you do, buddy? Go ahead and reload. Down. I forgot which came first. Was it Six or Sizzle? Oh, bloody hell. What time is it? 2:52. Could be worse, eh? It's Friday though. Let's give in a PH Design a wee demo of some of the crazy features that are rabbit holes that I go on. Kill this. Well, let's make sure you can hear chat messages be read out. Should do it. If you look up polls closed on YouTube, there's a funny video. Who is it? Internet Historian. It's got some great stuff. I'm not here reading out stuff. So Chrome doesn't let you start the accessibility API, which I use to read out chat, unless you like tap the screen like when you first initially load the page. So I guess I didn't tap it. I just tapped it. Let me get some gold pants. That's what I needed. Using this crappy wee keyboard to control the stream computer. This has got the crappiest wee trackpad, but it's better than having like multiple mice on my desktop. That's one of the reasons I'm working on the RDP stuff, is try to do my own KVM. Alright, I know what I'm doing. Alright, so just a wee bit of context here. So when you guys chat, it reads out your messages, right? So I'm going to do nodejs, yeah, for the back end aspect of it. Yep. And the front end is all coded in React and WebGL and Canvas. Still didn't hear read out your message though. I think Chrome bugged out on me. Bloody hell. That's what I get for messing about. Probably just go ahead and restart Chrome then. Bloody hell. Anyway, we're going to give you guys unique voices. Hey Fatal MC, how are you doing? It is actually. Yeah, no, your chatting is helping me. Like 100%. That's a good idea, page designs. Yeah, no, we could leave it up for a wee bit tonight. Alright, let me restart Chrome because take advantage of the testing. Okay, so let's go disappear. Here's my problem, just switch to Chrome or Firefox. Oh, I might have a TTS disabled in that new account I signed in. I think that's what happened. I have a little setting to enable or disable it. Fatal MC is both. I'm self-taught. I started coding pretty young. And this little project here, this is just for fun. I don't make a penny of it. I never have. Cost me money to run it. It's okay though. I like it. Where's my bloody mouse? I got so used to having the chat readouts that it's kind of annoying not having it. Oh, it's disabled. Text to speech is disabled. That was why. Okay. Hopefully, it said disabled. I did that so like new users that go in Kynto are not like weirded out that it's like reading out text to them. Some people appreciate it, other people are like, what is it doing? All right. Give that a go. Alright, Jamie, thank you for the test right there. You guys should be here in the chat again. Let me know if that didn't come through. Nope. No. left school early actually, high school. Went off to Scotland for a bit. I went truant at like 15. That's kind of the extent of my education there. But I've always been into like self-learning. PH Designs, that's definitely true. There was a period in my life, like maybe mid-20s, where I literally didn't have any personal projects at all for like a year or two. And I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty bloody depressed by the end of it. I had a bunch of money saved up in the bank. I'd already bought my house when I was 20. I'm not rich or anything, I've just always worked, like I've never not worked. And I still have a bloody mortgage, but I bought it young, and I had money saved up in the bank, and basically had enough so I could like not work for 2 years. And at the very, very end of it, yep, exactly. Professionally, I do all sorts of stuff, like pretty dynamic, but like the most recent thing they had me do at work was iPhone development, like native Swift. And I was already familiar with Objective-C and storyboard and old ways of doing things, but I kind of just took the opportunity when they fired the whole team that was working on it to be like, well, yeah, appreciate you guys. You know how I see it is, I see opportunities like work is paid school. As long as you're driven enough and have an opportunity to build up some experience, so you know your confidence is justified, or at least my confidence is justified, to say yes to things and get paid to work with new technologies. But MC, keep them coming. I appreciate this. I appreciate the conversation. So what I ended up doing was just building out like a pretty good resume of stuff that I did for free for people when I was younger, and kind of running that. Like I tell you, a good portfolio, and like a good portfolio and some projects you're excited about that you can talk about to a recruiter or a hiring manager will get you where you want to go. Like I've definitely, when I was younger as well, I was hired for jobs that there was probably other people qualified better, but I was like, maybe not, but I was like bloody excited about what I was showing them. Like I showed them Accent, even like stuff that like you'd be like, oh, would you show someone a program you built that like crawls MP3 files for copyright music? And it's like, yes, show them it because you built it. How did I get this current job though? So just having a good LinkedIn. No, 100%. PH Design's also just interesting stuff here as well. And that's what's made these last two streams enjoyable, is chatting with other people that want to code and can code, or you know what I mean, like just people that are in tech. But MC, what sort of coding job are you looking for? Like what? Like I guess like one place to start is like when I started was dudes. Yeah, ecom, definitely. PH designs, I respect that. I really do. It's just nice. It's nice doing it yourself. As and that's how I started as well. It was just working with individual clients and stuff. I just found I was like not so great at dealing with the clients myself, and yeah, but the freedom was great. Yeah, well, another thing I remember, I was like one of the things that I was doing a couple of years ago, but for this job at least, I was coding um, payment processors for ecom that like has difficult time getting like traditional payment processors, and it was in a WordPress. So I got some clients out of that when they found out that I coded this thing, and it was just funny because I was dealing with a lot of people. It's like, oh, I can code WordPress. It's like, well, why are you talking to me then? You know, because yeah, you can do a lot with drag and drop, but like when it comes to actually, you know, exactly PH designs, exactly. That's brilliant. It's awesome, man. My brother, he's always done his own thing. Yep, yep. No, exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about, Page Sense. You're doing a public service for them because they really do have no other option but to come to folks like you. That's for sure. Yep. Integrating the payment processors the biggest part in it. 100%. I just had an opportunity where a payment processor came out and they didn't have any plugins coded yet, and like page designs, you know this, like you do some work for some clients, they'll word mouth. Fatal MC, I feel like that's common. PH design, tell us what you think, but I always undercharge like when it comes to one-off jobs, always have, and like it's ridiculous. A good body fire. Fatal MC, make sure to subscribe and like if you can. That way, when I do streams next, hopefully you see us all again as well. So try to get the bloody YouTube algorithm to figure out like who the desired audience is here. Much appreciated. And same to you. Let's code a function here to generate unique pitch, and I can do that as we're chatting. Hey there, so we're chatting as avatars right now. It's hooked up into YouTube live chat. I'm basically working on like making it a little bit more customizable, so I'm coding unique voices. So you hear messages get read out. Right now what I'm working on is just making it so no, if you know, like if you already know how to code and you go to ChatGPT, there's a ton you can do with it, that's for sure. Could you imagine if there was an AI outage? It's chaos at this point. Exactly. Exactly. All right, so I'm gonna pull up SDN. We're gonna raw dog this, and then we can. PH Designs, I want to hear more. That's the way to. I'm curious. Please tell me some of the models you're working with. Yep. Brilliant. Yep. PH Designs, we might have to have you try out screen share into a stream if you're interested in that at some point, because definitely got some cool stuff to share with us. You don't have to do it now, but I'm just saying that you're definitely invited. Where is pitch? Block. Okay. You have like an RTX you're running it on like a local machine, or are you GPU wise, just wondering? pitch. Answer this. So that's what we're looking for. The properties. Okay, rate, so that's the speed. So we've got two properties that I'm going to mess with here. We're going to share the same voice, we're just going to have different pitch and different rates. And this is the object that I'm using to basically create the speech synthesizer and make it talk. Let's see the baseline values, that's what I was actually looking at. Let's see what the expected values are. It's between 0 and 1 or 1 and 2, what we got? Yeah, I think it's between 0 and 2. That's another crazy thing. You see, what is it? The 490s. People are taking the bloody chips out, putting older chips in them and stuff like that, and then selling those in eBay. Craziness. It's pitch, so between 0 and 2. So it looks like for pitch and rate, so the rate at which the speech synthesizer works is values between 0 and 2. And show you how funny they sound. Bloody hell, sorted. Yeah, I would take that 64 gigs of RAM, man. I'd take that all day. So we'll just do times 2. Times it by 1 to make a base value of 0.5. 0.75. For rate, we don't want it too fast. Let's see what I've got it defined at. With default rate at 0.91. Oh yeah, that's true. That's bloody true. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I need, you know, I'm eventually gonna have to set up a desktop here. I got a gaming laptop that I've never used as a laptop. Gets the job done. Exactly. I had this idea that I was going to be more mobile than I am. Yeah, I actually have a wee Raspberry Pi here that I use as a NAS. I've got like a bunch of hard drives plugged into it. It works. Let's see what server changes are pending. Yes. Yep. 100% agree with that. I have a Blade server here. You have to look up. It's like a custom built server by WebRTC or something. So my friend Walter actually got it from his job. No shit. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. Makes sense. It makes sense. You control the environment, sorted. I tell you though, I have to run a 100%. You're gonna end up with Commodore 64s in there soon enough. That's what ended up happening with me. Started collecting old computers because I wanted to figure out how computers actually work, because there's no chance of me understanding modern CPUs, like anything from like the 90s up. No chance. And the 6502 processor, the same one they used in the SNES or the NES. Yeah, I have a similar problem, Gmail, I'll tell you. But to be fair, she also has a craft room and she's in the tying flies for fishing, and she goes hard. Very creative. So we both have to have our own spaces to create. Yeah, it does work. We understand each other, and that we need a space to do our thing, that's for sure. But I think we're going to try to do a better job at crossing the worlds over a little bit, especially like with the whole streaming aspect. Okay, so I'm gonna commit this. Is there any changes up here I've not released? So for you guys to be able to see this code, my screen is blown out so much. This is I have to get used to it. That's bloody brilliant. No, it works better. Works better that way. No. One of the things I value in Harnish values in me is that we're both like self-driven to do stuff, but like always anxious to find ways to share it. Do you want to persist these? Okay, I can commit that. I don't think I'll do anything. Should be okay. Yep, that's all right. %100%. I even coded that OBS plugin. You guys are familiar with the streaming, like OBS is a big software they use for streaming. And Kynto can control OBS. It can like start and stop streams, switch scenes, like, mute and unmute audio and video devices. And I try to build like a whole self-contained like streaming integrator tool to just link everything together. Rabbit hole after rabbit hole, but the ones that are interesting are the ones I use. Okay, I think it's safe to commit this from delay down removal. It's a bug fixing. Okay, so I'm just gonna release this for it. Okay. I think so. When a user joins the room, I also send the avatar. Or when a new avatar joins, I have to send it. Let me think about this. There's some ugly code in this. This server is a lot of it's I've developed in like a nice plugin architecture, but the logic responsible for actually like managing a room is a little bit dirty. Not the prettiest thing, but I have to pick and choose what I work on and when. All I'm trying to do right now is inject a new property to the avatar. It's going to be avatar voice, and that's going to be unique for each YouTube live chatter. And then that'll be used on the front end to populate the speed at which text is read and also the pitch. And that'll be a good start at giving us some unique voices. What else do I have to do? I feel like I'm missing a case. So. Well, actually, let's just look at YouTube and see how it's emitting. Create a temporary avatar. I like that. I like that. Let's see which avatar you are, because you can actually test something out for me. Let's see, I can find the right mouse. Okay, so this is your pH design. This is you right here. If you go ahead and type lowercase move space down, go ahead and do that, and I'm going to spawn something in front of you. I'm covering the screen so you can't see if you move, so we'll have to do it again. Wait a second. Okay, so I'm gonna buy some apples for you. I'll place it and everything. Okay, it looked like you did move down, so I just put an apple in front of you. Let me move the screen up so you can see it. You see that apple in front of that avatar right here? That's you. So if you type move down again, you should pick that up. You actually technically get a point for that. Just make sure it still works as expected. And it takes about 5 or 6 seconds for your command to be processed. Since you already moved down, you're gonna have to type it again. Yep, all right, give it. Yep, you just picked up an apple. So what I could do is I could make the grass collectible around you, and that would allow you to mow the grass. Also, if you type jump, it'll make your avatar jump. And if you type wardrobe, it'll give you like unique clothing so you could distinguish yourself from everyone else. But I do like the idea of cutting the grass. Yeah, one of the things I plan on expanding in is I have a little chess room. Oh, so people could play chess against each other, that'd be interesting. Yep, just a lowercase jump. It just lets you like do this. Let's see if you jump. There you go, you jumped. I can decrease the latency, so how long it takes for a command to trigger the action. The reason I have it like 5-6 seconds right now is YouTube limits how many API requests I can make, and I have some kinks to work out still, but the ideal situation is to get it down to a second or two, so you know it feels more reactive. But yeah, that's you and made your avatar jump. I can also show you some other commands you have. I can code more. Any ideas for commands? I'm all ears. Yep, so you can dance. That'll just move your avatar like side to side to dance. I think float's coded. I think you can float already. I wouldn't try glow yet. And then you can also like make the screen shake. That could be annoying. That's a good idea. I like that for like skip and stuff like that. That's good. Write that down. Let me just add a stub for that. What would you name it? What would you name the command? Or what would you name the commands? I think skip's a good one, like maybe a song space skip, or I don't know. Or just next song. Alright, I'll add this placeholder. That's a good idea. I like that. I'm curious. Let me try this real quick. Oh, I guess I didn't release this command. If it reads it out, that means I didn't release it. Like if it's a command, it won't read it out. You'll see it in the YouTube live chat, but like this plugin I coded here will capture that command and trigger it and not read it out. That way you don't have, like, you know, it reading out, move down, move down, move down. I'm thinking about your idea of leaving it up to leaving the Kynto up as a stream, even if I'm not here. I'm thinking about your idea of leaving it up so like people that come on. So I'm using AI moderation to you know, filter out chat. I'll make sure it's clean because it's literally reading into the stream. But I do want to leave it up as an experiment, but we're going to have to come up with a title and a description and some like information on the screen to explain like what the little experiment is. So I think that'd be fun. Could even dedicate another channel to it just to leave it up, but we'll start the test here. No, that's solid idea. We need all the help we can get right now. Is there anyone on Twitch you recommend I should check out? Like some examples of that? Because I've definitely seen that in the past, but I haven't spent too much time on Twitch recently, so I'm not too sure with. Yeah, definitely. What could we call it? Like live avatar? Live avatar. Yeah. I feel like naming the stuff is harder than coding it sometimes. Yeah, and you know what I found out too? Like I watch people that like, I guess stream on Twitch and then re-upload their videos to YouTube and I just watch the re-uploads. 100%. Yeah. Yep. I used it to help me generate these little messages that show at the bottom of the screen. Yeah. So I'm definitely going to be adding some overlays to the stream that are like dynamic and like give you some info. These are just like static little messages, but I feel that it's definitely a fight, isn't it? I feel like memory was also another fight, like with me at least. That's why I like coding. It helps reinforce it. Definitely a fighting age. Yeah, you probably don't dream much either, right? I don't think I'm committing any server changes tonight. That's always risky, especially to do not actually losing it. Interesting. There's no instruction book on how to utilize your body or brain to its best visibility, is there? There's a lot of trial and error. Definitely is a journey. What the hell is the 344? There's something I find interesting on YouTube, which is kind of like amazing to me, but I guess people are just out. It's technically early Friday where I'm at, but like Friday nights are also pretty dead for streaming. I'll still hop on, just because I'm trying to build up a wee bit of momentum here, and I'm gonna be coding anyway, so why not do it? But YouTube's so hit and miss when they like, decide to send people over. It's a bloody black box. Let's see. Let me just do some testing over here, because then you'll be able to hear it. No, let's stop that for now. Let's open up our web dev console. And I'm just going to fire some events directly into Kynto to test what I'm already doing here. You can't see that. Let me join it. Okay. Let me pull that up and see if you can see that. Okay. Zoom out. What? You'll be able to hear it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simulate a YouTube chat event, and I'm going to set a custom voice just so we can hear some of the options. So the event is called Kynto :speak. And then there's some parameters that need to be defined, such as username. I'm just going to call this voice test. Then a message. We're going to say testing unique voice. And then we need to define pitch. We're going to try 2. And then a rate, we'll try 1.5. And fire that off. Oops. Not very good. Not very good. And you consider, you know, if you have an Android as well, it's just a bloody mess. I'm not saying Apple's any better, but like I use Google. I just feel like if you use Google, you use everything. There's so many examples of apps just exploiting camera microphone. Yep. And they made sure to remove their motto, "Do no evil." Instead of, they're not even going to pretend anymore. They're not even going to pretend. And like literally sitting on YouTube right now, I can only imagine the amount of processing they do on people's voices. Like I'm speaking right now, people's faces, and God, it's just never ending. Just try and imagine even how much storage capacity they have for everything. It's unfathomable, but there is engineers out there working on it. Kynto is not defined. Agreed. I know Ubuntu tried doing their own OS, but yeah, maybe it comes down to hardware as well. I like the idea that the whole modular phone thing. I've not really seen that go anywhere though. But like, I'd like a phone that like literally didn't have a bloody camera in it for one. Like the computer I bought, the laptop, the Windows laptop, is like I got one without a webcam in it. So why do I need a webcam in it? It's going to be crappy anyway. And the model after it, the year after it, they added cameras back in because apparently people complained that there was no webcam. I thought it was nice. That is so unique. That's a good point. There we go. No. Right, there's female voice. Is that like English accent? Oh, that's horrifying. That too. Let me know if there's a voice that you want PH. I can save it to your profile. You absolutely should. You should. Honestly, I'd argue you should even probably start before then, or at least start recording, like you setting up your lab. Because one of the cool things is you'll be able to look back at it as well. You can be able to look back and like what I've been coding here, like in the last year or so, and like way more detail than I've ever been able to. I think so. I would watch it. What's up? Cool. Quick list of the English voices. Get to yeah, no, 100%. And being able to get ideas from folks or like input or get them to be excited to do something too. It's enjoyable, honestly, especially with the way things are now. It's like. All right, my PH designs. I think I'm gonna wind this down. It's 4 AM and I do have to get up in a couple hours. But yeah, I enjoyed this. Appreciate you sticking around. Yeah, it's good. Hopefully this weekend we can get some more folks on and carry on. It was was it Fatal MC? Appreciate it. You too. Catch you later.